Given you host access.
Okay.
Okay.
Now you can, I'll add you as the host, right?
Yes. Good evening. Yes. Good evening, everyone. A warm welcome. Just give me a minute. I'll be going Facebook Live and then again having a formal welcome and introduction of our speaker.
I think this is just hanging now and then, no? My
We're able to
internet.
see you, ma'am. No problem.
We're able to see I'm going live. Great. Good evening to everyone and a very, very warm welcome from Team Indian Kamishibai Association. So I am Ramya Srinidhi and with me I have Seema Karanth and an entire vibrant team of Indian Kamishibai Association who've been super excited as we are celebrating Kamishibai Katha. This is our yearly celebration once in a year where we bring in Indian stories, Indian art forms into life for integrating Kamishibai, which is a traditional Japanese street storytelling format, with Indian stories and Indian art form. So, with the festival, we had a workshop on Gond art last week where we did Gond art with a Japanese folk tale, and today we have a workshop on Chittara art, and this is something very interesting because this art form is very specific or very rooted in Karnataka. So we want to know because it's again a picture storytelling format, right? So something we Kamishibai storytellers will always be interested in. And tomorrow we are having a session at Kavan Park where 6 of us will be telling live stories with in Kamishibai style with, of course, the Indian stories and Indian art forms. Okay. Without further ado, I would love to call on stage our wonderful speaker today, Dr. Githa ma'am. Let me replace spotlight. Great. Okay. Dr. Githa ma'am is there on stage right now. So let me give a very, very, very brief introduction of her because she is such a scholar. She's a wonderful human being. And it was serendipity that I met her and we connected. And she's been such a wonderful person, so encouraging. And so just to tell you a very brief introduction about her, she, leaves behind her wonderful career as a senior bank manager to pursue her interest in heritage and learning. So she's somebody who's so creative, so full of life, with a master's in botany, postgraduate diplomas in Indology, journalism, and numerous national and international publications. She has taught at Christ University and contributed to heritage research and documentation. As founder-trustee of Destination Heritage, she curates walks, webinars, and courses that bring India's cultural legacy alive for students and young professionals. An editor, researcher, and mentor, she continues to inspire by weaving heritage into education and community life. So, she has these wonderful walks. I know that, and that's a very, very minimal introduction that I could do of this wonderful person. So, ma'am, the stage is over to you, and we are all very curious to know about Chittara art.
Good evening, everyone. And thank you so much, Ramya, for the introduction and inviting me on your platform to share my thoughts on this very little known folk art of Karnataka. And before I start, I would like to say, I don't know if my connectivity is stable. So in case there are certain adachane, please excuse me. And I hope there won't be many. So India has a very interesting and a varied repertoire of folk culture, especially in terms of its folk art and the performing arts, that is the performing arts and the visual arts. And one of my friend has done a research in the folk art of India, and he has researched 220 art forms from Andaman Islands to Leh. And he says that he has only maybe touched only half or 40% of the entire folk visual arts available, though official records say that there are 70 known recorded art forms in India. So this is folk art forms. They reflect the worldview of communities. So in a community, it can be various types. They may belong to different caste, different creeds, but they all share the passion and love for one particular form of art. And we see that they bring in rudimentary philosophical elements and the secular and religious aspects of their day-to-day life. So weddings, then there's some of their very important festivals are all a part of the folk arts. But we also find that these folk arts, sometimes they come into the urban space, and we see that the likes of Jamini Roy and Prabha, leading away from the Abhendranath Tagore school, the company paintings, and integrating folk art into their paintings, which makes it very, very interesting. So this, can we start the slide? Can you put the first, this thing? So the Chittara art of Karnataka, in pockets of Shimoga and Sagara districts, is only on lines. Sometimes it is mistaken for the Varli art, but here it is lines and more lines, which has got so much of significance and symbolism attached to it. So Malenadu is the area where in Karnataka, it is a part of can you hear me, Ramya?
Yes, yes, loud and clear.
Okay.
Ramya, are you able to see the visuals? Because I'm not able to see.
I am not
Yeah,
able to see the visuals.
first time it was there, but now it's gone.
Okay, just give me a second. Just give me a second.
It was there briefly.
So meanwhile, I'll continue till we come. So
Yes, yes.
Malenadu in Karnataka is a area which abuts the Western Ghats, and as such, it is a land of rolling hills, verdant canopies, dense forest, and enriched by crisscrossing water bodies. It is watered by three rivers: the Sharavati, the Tunga, and the Varada. That's why it is the Sharavati river. Go to the first, not at here. First. So it is the Sharavati river that makes the famous Jog Falls when during the monsoon season, because it is in monsoon season that the whole life and the activities of the Chittara people, that means the Devaru community who make this Chittara comes alive. So this is an area which is inhabited by, next slide, please. Next slide. So, basically, folk culture adapts to social changes and transformations. And in the tapestry of folk art, it epitomizes the personal subjectivities and the community's worldview. That means their creativity. So there is a way to go with their creativity. There is no bar held. And their secular and religious beliefs. In short, it is their way of life that is portrayed in these lines of the Chittara. So this is very particular of a community that lives in the Malenadu area. And who are these people? They are the caste of Kari Okkaligaru, Halakki Okkaligaru, Soligaru, Uppaluru, and the Devaru communities. And these Devaru communities, they were earlier forest dwellers. They were tribes. And they were tapping toddy. So the toddy, unlike in palm trees that we know of, this is from, I don't know the scientific name, but it is called the Bagina tree. So from that, they tap toddy. So they're also called as the Bagina tribes. But at some point of time, they moved from the forest to farming, and they settled to an agricultural life. They started tenancy farming, at that time, their art, it took a small change wherein they incorporated some sociological changes, philosophical aspects, wherever they did the religious aspects. So we find that there are weddings, because in a tribal art, you don't find weddings and praying to a god, because they worship the nature, and it is just impromptu. They don't have anything in mind how to draw, and it is there are no hard and fast rules. But here they form certain rules as to something means something, and it has to be drawn in a particular way. That is what folk art is. So when they settle to a agricultural life, then their tribal art, which was only lines and stick-like figures, which reminds us of the prehistoric paintings, cave paintings, Bhimbetka, and even in so many other places. So from there, it has morphed into something that has got more significance. So that's why this Chittara means to draw, and Divaru means Dweep in Hale Kannada. Since these people were living around water bodies, so probably they came to be called as the Divaru community. So the Chittara evolved thus from simple tribal art to a rich folk art, and it is the symbolism that brings out the various aspects, their association with the familial relationships, with the nature, and then with the especially and also harvest. And like any oral tradition, this is also passed generation to generation, and the youngsters get trained very early in life. So why did they draw these lines? Initially, they drew only 2 lines. And these 2 lines was to ward off evil forces, to safeguard. They propitiated and say that "Ee line datakududu." They should not this thing, and they should not come into their territory. It is from the outside territory. So that's why those 2 lines were drawn. And firstly, it was on the walls. Then it came on to the nela, the floor, then the angala, then prakara, and then on butti. And this butti attains significance during the Hunnime Bhumi Puja, which is just around Deepavali, wherein they propitiate and give thanks to Mother Earth. So basically, what are these? These are lines, some geometric patterns, and stick-like images here and there to represent the couple, going to be married man and woman, and the musicians who are called to play the wedding music. And uh, these paintings on the wall, they are 2 to 3 feet in height, and usually it is drawn on walls that are either facing the east or the north, not in other directions. And it is only the women who draw this art. The men are not a part of it. So what do the women do? They help in the fields, and when they come in the evening after every work is over, after having their food, they take a small lamp, and then they start doing the chittara. They are so involved that their day doesn't close without doing chittara. So at times they are helped by their friends who come and give them company, and they sing songs. So today these songs are no longer sung, and I think whether much documentation has been done or not, I am not very sure. So now they simply do it, and because she's doing it all on her own, her friends, they come and they give her company, and they break the monotony by bringing this by singing songs, and thereby increasing the bonding of amongst themselves. Next, please. Next slide, Ramya.
Yes, ma'am. One second.
So they usually worship land and water, and their rituals are thereby centered around these 2 elements. So besides cultivation, they also weave beautiful and intricate mats and buttis or basket, and they do beautiful chitara work on that. So
is this the slide, ma'am? Do you want me?
this was the second
Yes.
one.
Yes.
Okay, no, you keep it like this.
Yes.
So while drawing the Chittara, they have got certain techniques and materials which they use. So what you see on the left-hand side is brushes made from the hemp plant, the fiber of the hemp plant. And you will see that it is also made like paint brushes in variations, maybe 0, 5, 3, 2, in those dimensions. So beautifully they have made, and whichever needs finer aspects like dots, they use the fine ones, and which needs little bit thicker the lines which form the frame. So they may be using the thicker brushes. And they use only natural colors. There are the colors are only very few: black, white, red, and yellow. So how do they get it? It is comes from natural ingredients, and white comes from either white clay or from rice flour, which is sieved and then mixed and then kept aside. Then you find also from sunna. Then you also find black from charred rice or from sugar cane, and the yellow is from the seeds of the gurige plant, which is called as Strobilanthus kuntiana. So you will see here that this is the white clay, white color, this is the black, and this is the red, and this is the yellow. So she's making yellow, and you can see she's doing, the artist is painting the Chittara by these fine brushes on the basket. So this basket is it is made out of that thatti or the wattle, and it is covered with the cow dung several times so that there are no rough edges, and then it is coated with the red kempu manu or the red clay, and it is then only that they do the drawing. Next slide, please. So now what is the vocabulary of Chittara? The vocabulary of Chittara is that it is either round, triangle, or a square. So the round is to represent the sun and the moon, and the triangle for mountains and trees, and the square or the chauka is a modern human intervention. So it represents familial ties. It represents the house. For instance, like this. This is the chauka. It is also the foundation of a house. So it can also mean that, or it can also mean that it is the boundary, which a familial boundary beyond which it is a line drawn. They cannot cross and beat those norms which are laid down. So, and this is very important in their marriage functions, and this chauka gains predominance in ritual and marriage functions, which is very, very important. And these women, though they are illiterate and unlettered, they have such a understanding of the architecture of the house that they live in, and they use their wisdom to create beautiful designs. So if you can see,
do you want the next one, ma'am?
This is their hut, which has got sometimes this wattle partition through which the light comes, and this is the roof. So similarly, this is the base, and this is how it is seen here. And these are the columns and beams which they are used. So it is like this. And here, this is how they start decorating. Next slide, please. So now what do these lines mean? So I told you that it starts with 2 lines and then a single line, and that is called as Eli. These 2 lines, it is called as Eli. Then when it is drawn towards one, slanting towards one side, it is called Nili. And when it becomes crisscrossed on both sides, it becomes Nili Kochu. And then when it is inverted triangles on both the sides, it is called as Basinga Neli. And this is Basinga, which is used to tie on the head of the would-be groom. And these some diamond things which you can see, which sometimes break the monotony in a square design. And this is called as Gombe Salu. And this represents children. So this Neeli Kochu, which is very intricate. It represents how the top of the house and the walls. Today it is gode made out of chunnam or whatever, but earlier it was made out of wattle or bamboo, this thing. So it needed support from the family because it is intricate. So when you make it, it also indicates symbolism of strength and also of friendship. Then you find this basinga, which is an auspicious symbol wherein it is used for the headgear of the groom. And then you find the gombe salu, which is indicating of children. And this is the bisinige. So bisinige is a hand fan, and this hand fan is used to decorate the palanquin in a chauka when a marriage is taking place, when they draw to the couple. And this is the butti, and this is called as Sita Mudi. This is the hairstyle that they do. And you find here, now that I've explained these lines and symbols. So this is the Gombe Salu, and you find the Basinga, and this saw-like things, it is called Gargasa Salu. And this is called as Popili. And Popili is a grid, like in a chess, wherein you find alternating black and white. So here also they make alternating red and yellow, or black and white, leave it like that. So this indicates the eyes, and also the twinkling stars, and they feel that their ancestors are in this twinkling stars. And more so at times, it is the peep, the ray of light that filters from the wattle. And this here is the basinga for the ox, because the oxen is very revered, and it is called as the Ettina basinga. So it is represented like this. It is the hoof of the animal, and this is the basinga. And this is what I have learned at a workshop, and this is called as the Gudina Hakki. So this was a bird which is very endemic to the area, and today it has become very extinct. So this, they put it at the sites of a design. And you see here that this is the Chendu Huvina Salu. So the Chendu Hu is a marigold, and which is very important in these various functions offering to God. Next, please. And further going, this is called as the Populi design. Populi, like I told, that grid, checkered grid. And you find here when they draw, this is the completed Chittara at the time of the wedding. So you find here, this is the ficus leaf. And this is the gargasa, which is the saw, edges of the saw. And this is the rooster. And this is called as Madanakai. So just like in a house, when you build, they bring out some wooden beams outside, so that when they want to build a house later on, from here they can start the joint and build one extra room or something like that. Sometimes it is also on the roof, so that they can make an additional roof on the side. So the same thing is represented in Chittara like this. So this is called the Madanakai, and this is, they say, is always drawn when a marriage is taking place. When there is in the chauka, there is a couple, a marriage taking place, and this is supposed to be the hand of the goddess, the divinity, the divine hand. So you find here, this is the ficus representation, and this is the garagasa, which is the saw-like thing, and this is the rooster. Both the hen and the rooster, they are kept on top of the teru. It is very important. And as they are pulling the teru, both these birds fly, and whoever are able to catch it or comes near them, they are supposed to be considered lucky, and they say that they become very prosperous. So this is the Madanakai, and here you find the Olagadavaru. So these are the people who are there from a different community, not from their community at all. And they are the ones who play the music. So you can see that they are having the drum, the cymbals, and other instruments, which they will be playing the music. And they're always at the entrance of whichever place it is taking place. So this you find is the Popoli design. And this top one is supposed to be the auspicious pot wherein they bring water at the time of the wedding. They get the sacred water, do puja to it, also do some designs on that, and then pour it on the heads of the couple. So this is how it is represented. And this is the rooster. Again, the same thing is repeated here. So here we find that this is called as Dandige, wherein the couple is there. This is called as Jodu Madhve. So two pairs of couples are getting married, and you find that there are two palanquins. This is one couple and this is one couple. And you find that they have put the auspicious symbol of the Bisinige, which I showed earlier. And these are the two people who are carrying this palanquin. So the same thing you can see, which is under preparation. So you find that the populi is being done here. They have yet to fill up all these forms. And this plus sign is what is called as the butterfly, or the piti, or the patanga. So sometimes in the beams and the columns, there may be some space, and the butterflies are to be found there. So this is a process in the making. This is a chittara in the making, and this is a completed chittara. Next, please. And this is after harvest, the paddy is cut and it is stacked. So it is stacked in such a way that it becomes a round, a circular hut-like thing with the paddy being inside. Then after some level, the paddy grains will be outside. So, and they keep on stacking, and this may be up to some 12 to 15 feet in height. And they use the any to climb, because here at the top, this is like a pyramid. They bring it, and then the opening is left there, for which they do one juttu, like top of thing, or leftover paddy stalks, and they put a juttu and close it. And it is surrounded by mud, so that this when there is gusty winds, this doesn't fly away. So it is surrounded by mud here, and it is tightly fixed like a lid. So even if rain falls ever by chance, it is not so, this will not get wet. So this is done by the men, and we see that this is represented in Chittara. This is called as the Gonabe. So this is represented in Chittara like this. So the men are bringing the paddy stalks and then placing it in this Gonabe. This Gonabe is 15 feet or 12 feet, and this is the Eni. So this is how it is represented in Chittara. Then we find this Hunnime Butti, which is very, very important during the Hunnime Habba festival. So this is called as Linga the Gudi representation. So you find Linga here, and then it is covered by this. So this is a sacred composition, and it is used during that festival. And this is called as Chikkal Bakkal Chinani. So this resembles a person who is in yogic position and meditating. This is supposed to be representing their ancestor, and either you will find it on either side of the entrance to the house, or mostly in the bedroom of the couple. So this is a fertility symbol also. And next, please. So this was the poster that Ramya took from the online, I think. So with an understanding of this, we can say this is the Gudina Hakki, a bird which is very, very endemic only to that regions, not to be found now. And this is the water pot, which contains the sacred water that is poured onto the heads of the couple. And this is the rooster bird. Then here is the couple who gets married. The man wears the basinga, and the woman also wears a different type of basinga and a row of jasmine flowers. So this is the Nili Kochu. This is the basinga. This is the Gombe Salu. And this auspicious thing is taken under the sun and the moon. So as long as these are there, such rituals will take place, and it will have a significance to them. So this is the palanquin, and these are the two palanquin bearers. And this is the popoli, and this is the butterfly, piti, and our patanga. And this is where the chest-like grid is drawn. It is yet to be completed. And here you find the Madanakai, and sometimes it may have the Basinga Butti, wherein the Basinga is placed, taken, and then given to this thing, or sometimes it is represented with this mango, mango torana as an auspicious thing. So, and these are the Olagedavaru. So they play this thing. So this is the meaning of your poster, Ramya, that you had taken.
Wow,
Next.
thank you, ma'am.
So now there are, other than this, because there are 30 variations, so it is not possible to show everything in the short time. So the other things are the Magge Salu. The Magge Salu is jasmine. And Piti or Patanga is a butterfly, and also kites. They are arranged in such a way that they look like kites, Patanga, like kites. Any is the ladder. And Baswana Pada. So Baswana Pada, it becomes very important in the festival after Deepavali, where the animals are prayed, and also during Shankranti. And those who don't have cattle, they simply draw the Pada, which I showed you, that Yetina Basinga, it had something, Pada inside. So that is very sacred. So they draw this in front of the entrance to the cattle shed, and those who don't have simply draw it. Then Teru Chittara is when the car festival, the festival car is drawn, and inside you have the Devi, usually Marama, and it is drawn by men. It is represented by way of pulling ropes, and it goes like that. So now we see, what we see pictures here is the Chittara's importance during rituals. So this is a very, very important ritual. That's why it is called as Hase Chittara, because this is the Hase, wherein they put a mat, which they themselves have woven from grass. And on top of the mat, they put a sack, which has got hay in it. And then they draw this design. It is a Entu Mule Arati. So it is 8-cornered. And then both the groom and the bride, they sit on this and do the series of rituals, and each in their own homes. Sometimes you find that this Entu Mule Arati has got this. This is a hand stick which is held by the groom, and it is made out of sola wood, highly decorated with flowers, and it has a parrot on top. And this is the Basinga, and this is the Jalli Salu of the girl, and this is of the boy, Basinga of the boy, and this is the Basinga for the girl. So this is called as Jonlu, and this is the bunch of string of jasmine flowers. And sometimes the artists are so very experienced, that this 8 becomes 160. And there is one season, this is all, if you count this, you will find 160 sites. And there are artists, there is one artist who has done 400 sided Mule Arati. Next, please. So this is during the time of Bhumi Hunnime Habba. Like I said, though they do agricultural farming, in the spare time, they also weave mats, and they also weave this butti. This butti is again made out of bamboo or wattle, and then they put a segni or a cow dung. Nicely they plaster it and see that it gives a smooth surface. So it may take, they have to put wet, it has to dry. Then they should see that there are no rough edges, so they have to smoothen it. So sometimes it may take to 4 to 5 applications, and then they color it with this red color. So that red kemmanu. So this is how it is, to start with the raw material, then with the dung, and then with the red mud, and then they put this design. So this is the Lingada Gudi design. And this butti becomes very important during that Hunnime Habba, which is just on the Paurnami day, a few days before Deepavali. So here what they do is they prepare a preparation called as charaga. So this is a porridge made of rice, and they add whatever vegetable they have grown. They don't buy from the market. Whatever they have grown from their fields, and with some greens, then they make it like a porridge. And the next day, the men early morning take it to the fields, and they put it all across the field as an offering to the mother nature. So they say that this is equivalent to the Simanta. This Bhumi Hunnime Habba is the fecundity of Mother Earth, wherein she is craving for something, and it is equivalent to the Simanta which we see. So what happens at times, they also take with them the sweet meat preparations like kadubu, atrasa, and those sort of things. And the men, after they distribute it on the field, they take one banana leaf, put this kadubu, rice kadubu made out of steamed rice, wrap it up, and put it inside the soil, inside the ground. And after, at the time of Deepavali, it is only about a 1 week or 10 days difference. After Deepavali, they go back, maybe 2 to 3 weeks, they go back and they dig out that preparation which is there. And if that it is not spoiled and it is fresh as it has been, that means the mother has accepted the prasada, and they will have a prosperous yield. But if it turns sour, it's an indication that the yield may not be that very good. See how simply and intelligently they are able to come to conclusions. No need of any scientific thing. Yes or no. And look at the way that they have made use of nature and their intelligence to come to some conclusions. Next slide, please. So, like I said, these people with the leftover paddy, this is paddy which has got the paddy grains. It is put like a torana for the door. And this is the patanga kite. Kite, which is, no, it is the earthen pots, one on top of the other, that is put here. And this earthen pot is very sacred. It has got two meanings. One, at the time of Pitru Paksha. In fact, they have a small corner in their home wherein on a platform they place a huge big hande. And two handes, one is huge and big and one is small and filled with water, for which they offer their prayers every day. So this is symbolizing those pots. And it is the big pot is equivalent to the female ancestor, and the small pot to the male ancestor. And during Pitru Paksha, they decorate these pots just like we do ourselves, by wearing a sari, and the man with a dhoti and with a walking stick and all that. So so like I said, they are very good at making other items. So this is called for keeping the vessels underneath. It is something like this. So they place this, and on top of this, they place the big pots. And this is a decoration which they put for their head, around their booty, or it can also be put like a chain as a necklace. And this is only grass, the thick end of grass, which they have made it like this. And it is this. And this is also made with the grass, for which they add some sola pith design by way of flowers. And this is kalashada kaddi, wherein it is the thick end of the straw of the paddy. Then they put real paddy. Real paddy is put on either side and stuck. And then they use it as kalashada kaddi, put it into the kalasha. And this is the mat which they do from the thick grass. This is how they make and keep, and then they cut it. Suppose they want a dimension of, say, 4 feet. They make it into strips and then join the strips. So they also make this broom, which is left over from the paddy, and this is for cleaning their deur mane. And this is the leftover haystack, which tied to the bell and tied around the ox. And this is the gerisi, wherein they do this whatever patterns they want for winnowing their grain. And as an urban person, I think we can make it like a design and a style statement. And this is what I have done. This is the bisinige. So you can make it something like this and make it as a decoration if there is a function in your home. Next slide, please. This is the last one. So with this, we come to the conclusion of my talk. And Chittara thus is a tapestry of simple but exquisite lines with a deep meaning in its symbolization, and thereby forming an integral part of the Devaru community, especially the women who are the torch bearers of our tradition and cultural heritage. A long history with an intricate creativity and artistic brilliance with a deep rooted tradition. Chittara embodies the intensely entrenched spiritual, religious, and secular ideas. Just imagine, they know the architecture of their homes, they have added wisdom to it, and then brought out with their creativity beautiful beautiful drawings just by having lines. Just see how advanced they are. We say that they are illiterate, but their creativity has got no match from the urban people. So I feel that Chittara is thus a narrative artwork which narrates something so much of meaning to the people of that community, but with very simple motives, flat but aesthetic, using traditional methods and techniques with natural colors. Today, they encompass, you see that how is it being brought into the forefront? There was Na de Souza, and then Hegodu Prasanna, and there was one Nayak, Ishwar Nayak, who is a national awardee, and also S. Chandrasekhar, who is a Rajyotsava awardee. These are the people who are responsible for reviving this art. Yeah, what we know today is because these people brought their documented archive, and you see that Prasanna's Desi, that shop in South End Road, he has all the design, the whatever motifs you find are all relating to Chittara. And also in his place at Hegodu, he has got this stationery, and all of them have these motifs of Chittara. So we find that these people, especially this Ishwar Nayak, he has got a small, took a small space, documented what all he and his family through generations have brought by way of symbolization, the lines, and then he is teaching the youngsters who are interested so that the art goes forward. So today it encompasses contemporary themes, making the individual artist thus the center of creativity and creation. So there is an urgent need to revive this art. And there is one Mrinalini Kulkarni from Bangalore who has taken up commissioned works and projects for Chittara. She applies the designs on wedding saris and other garments, thereby making a style statement. And these unique patterns, they have also been, they have garnered international admirers because she has also done marketing from Geneva and France. Another person who has to be remembered is Githa of CFARI. She has done lots of work on this art form, and also made an exhibition a few years back in Japan. So wherein they were very impressed. And she has recently, about 2 months back, brought out a book, a very interesting book. So the entire aspects of this Chittara art, the community, their various uh, aspirations through this creative form of Chittara is documented. So thus we find that this folk art is has become from tribal. Can we go to the last slide? So we find that this folk art, what was a tribal art, wherein there is no proportions, nothing, just like that. What they see, like birds, trees, river, animals, and a man doing some secular, taking a ox and then going to work. They don't have anything of social importance, whatever activities they do, because they, for them, nature is God. You don't find separate God here represented. But in folk, we find all these sort of weddings, the habbas, and gods, though they may be represented in a different from this thing. So that is how tribal art, the Chittara tribal art, has taken connotation of folk art, and today it has become a folk art like your Fard, Mithila or Madhubani art, similar to those. And unfortunately, since awareness is not much, the Chittara art is always mistaken for Varli art. But don't you not think that this is much more advanced than Varli? With the two lines, only two lines, they have showcased the entire heritage of this community. So thank you so much once again, Seema and Ramya, for this wonderful opportunity to promote. This is my koduge for the folk art of Karnataka, which I feel needs to be more promoted and promulgated, and some narratives and talks have to happen. So I'll be very happy to take some questions.
Yes, Ramya, I have spotlighted you.
Yes. I was trying to unmute. Wow, ma'am, that was amazing. And there was so much into it because, see, that's the difference now that we have seen so much of Chittara, maybe on the butties and other places where it is for sale. We just bring and keep it somewhere as a decorative item. But after your talk, it's now I'm going to see it in a very different angle altogether. And you're right, it is confused for Burley, but the lines, the distinctions, and also those side,
Borders, side
yes, those
borders.
borders. I've missed the technical terms. It's so beautiful and so advanced, and just a single line and a dot means so much. And I feel just one piece is telling such a big story. We just, like, what you have done was so beautiful because you just took what I uh, very casually took from internet for my poster, but you took the effort to actually tell us what it meant, and that is a story. And that's what we are also trying to understand as a part of when we bring in the Kamishibai understanding of it. That is also pictures telling stories. This is also pictures telling stories. So with this, we'll just try to understand and integrate it so much more. And thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for accepting our invitation and being with us today to take us through this. So yes, over to you, Seema.
Yes, and the fact that it had so much to do with regional,
Yeah,
as a probably because we are both from Karnataka, we could connect with it so many things. Like the Basinga, the last time I heard the word
true.
was when I got married. So to see those representations, it was wonderful. It was wonderful. The small minor details, like Ramya said,
Hmm.
and we only have to think, how do we bring it to our stories? How do we integrate this art or learn more from it and add it to our stories or promote it through our stories? I think that's the task ahead for us.
True,
You
true.
have inspired us. So
Yes,
hopefully
thank you
we'll have
so
some.
much. And I'm really looking forward to this IKA to take this Chittara art
Sure.
and promote it to some extent, because we Kannadigas are so laid back that we don't,
True,
advertise or promote our art. In fact, even textiles, we have got such beautiful textiles, but we promote Pochampalli, Gadwal,
true,
Kanjivaram, Katans, and this thing. So right from there, and we also say, whoa, wow, wow, of Kailasha, Ellora, this thing, not having, we have also got Hire Benekalu. It is now going to
mm,
be a World Heritage Center, equally
true,
as beautiful as the Bhimbetka rock painting caves.
true.
So I think
Wow.
something has to be done to see
Yes,
that our own arts,
true,
textiles or whatever of Karnataka is promoted. And
true.
youngsters like you can do a good job.
True, ma'am. I think somebody has shared a small piece of art in the chat saying that this is my attempt
Okay.
at the art form. So that's very beautiful. I don't know the name, who this person is. It says admin.
I'm sorry,
Can
it's
we have
Vitika.
a?
Sorry.
Vitika, hi.
Hi, this is my attempt.
Yeah, very
Oh,
nice.
lovely.
So that is,
Lovely.
yeah. So this is a wedding, Chittara. You find the couple here. Otherwise, usually there'll be a DT when they are showing a
Mm,
DT. and then you have made this Madanakai, and then this is the pot which contains the water. Sometimes they also put gopura here. The temple which they see, they put it is just like this gopura, but this is like a pot, and this is the popali, and this is the palanquin. Though the two people, I think you should put two people here because they are carrying the palanquin.
Okay.
And here, and here you put the Voliga Davaru because wedding doesn't take place without the
Without the
Vadyas.
musicians.
So put some Vadyas in this line, 4 or 5. Otherwise, it is very excellent. And also, this usually has either a Chandra or a moon. It's not blank. There is a sun or a moon or a Basinga, which is the fan, Bisinige. So you put this, and I think.
And the birds are not there in hers. Is
birds.
that,
And
should
birds
it be
also
there?
you can put here birds.
Yeah, see, now I've learned so much about this. This was long back when I was just exploring the art forms and came across something on the internet and tried to copy it without
Yes,
understanding
without
what
understanding.
elements should be there.
So I'm very
Yeah.
glad that some of your doubts are cleared, and what you have done, I hope the explanation has been much clearer in your mind.
Definitely, ma'am. Definitely. So much, at least, the minute we saw the picture and the way you break it down and say, because for me, if I saw, I'm like, oh, wow, beautiful. But the minute you saw, you are able to break it down and tell us, what it is, what's happening there, and how Vadya has to be there, and all of that. So that's what, understanding or being aware of the art form and the story that it tells, and like you said, the roots and the people who have been behind it, and how it's our responsibility to take it forward. So I'm sure we are all very excited. We will definitely have more work that we can come up with, promoting this art form. So we're very excited, and thank you so
And
much.
anything, when you understand it, it carries a lot of meaning, and you
True.
get involved with it rather than just being dots and lines, putting
Yes,
this there.
see,
Then you
until
know
she did,
that
it
this
was
is.
just an image. And
Yeah.
now when you say, okay, this also has to be there. It was just a thing of beauty. Now we
So
know that there is meaning, there's a story behind it.
yes. So all this art, folk art, in one way or the other, they convey something. If
True.
only we have the patience to look into that. Like the other day, we had a Gond workshop. So that
Yes.
also told so much of meaning. They convey something. It is not that it is just animals, three-dimensional birds put together. It has a relevance to their lifestyle,
Mm.
and it means a lot to them. Just like we do today, contemporary painting, they have not, especially Chittara, they have not brought in contemporariness. They are still maintained the original way of doing the Chittara. And when you see in the dim light, the women, when they do this Chittara, it is done with so much of focus. There has to be focus and a steady hand.
Yeah.
So this is the
Dexterity.
eye hand coordination. Without a steady hand, sometimes they will be finding that rice flour dripping from their hand as they are doing that. So engrossed are they in the doing. So it requires a steady hand for doing these lines. And I forgot to tell you, you may ask, how do they do this on the walls? So what happens? They dip a very thin thread in whatever color, white or red or whatever, and take the center point of the picture. They draw the center point. Taking the center point, they make the innermost square. Then from that, they proceed outwards and then
Oh,
draw
wow.
the outside. So with that, it becomes precision and perfect. So it is not just
Absolutely.
drawing like that. See the method they have used, very geometric, so much of mathematical precision involved in that, and they don't even do one mistake. There is no eraser. If you
Yeah.
erase it, it becomes apashakuna, so they cannot erase it.
Mm.
So when usually it is there, this Chittara, like I told you that with those couple is done on the east and north walls. Sometimes when there is a second wedding in the family, so beside it, the other Chittara will come, but they will never erase, alusify.
Erase it.
So it is there for years together.
Wow. So you can, if you pass by the house or if you see in the house, it's like a wedding photographs being put there.
Yes,
Right? You
yes,
know that there have been 2 weddings in this house. They had 4 cattle
yes,
and they had
yes,
5
yes.
birds.
See how
Beautiful.
what a message is conveys.
Yeah.
We don't do our houses convey anything. They are so square, bland roof, this thing. But here, every house conveys
Beautiful.
something or the other.
Beautiful. Does anybody here have any questions or any thoughts?
Hi,
There was one
Ramya.
question asking whether the Halaki people are one and the same. See, Halaki people are also the tribes. You find them even near Ramnath, Ramnagar and all that. But these, they call themselves as Halaki Wakkaligaru because they are doing farming. Otherwise, the Halaki are tribes. They do other work, rat catching or something like that. So, but these have shifted from being a tribe to a folk, generation coming into farming and all that. So they are called as Halaki Wakkaligaru. The Halaki people are different. They are the tribes.
Okay. Yeah, Preeti had that question. Veena, did you have something to ask?
Yes. First of all, thank you so much. I'm also from Bangalore and Karnataka, and it is amazing that I mean, ma'am was totally right. At least me and people from Bangalore, we hardly know about our own roots,
True.
and uh, it is both sad and but also happy that I got an exposure. So, ma'am, thank you so much. One, how do we learn this art in Bangalore? Is there anybody you mentioned
Yes,
about Ishwar Nayak?
there is a CFRI, the Center for the Revival of Indigenous Arts, Githa Bhatt, who has brought out this book. So she regularly conducts courses, and that is how I attended her course and did this thing.
Very
So it is a
nice.
Where would this
similar.
be, ma'am?
No,
Okay.
it took place in BIC. It took place in this Indian Institute of World Culture. She had an exhibition for 7 days, wherein my pictures are from that exhibition. So the whole the way
Gandhi
that
Bazaar,
these
right?
people,
Indian Basangudi.
yeah, Basangudi, Indian Institute of, it took place in the month of May
Okay.
and June in
Okay.
BIC.
Okay.
So you can get in touch with Geeta Bhatt. She will organize workshops. And best thing is go to the Google and try, because it's all lines. It does not need, only if you understand what it is, you start practicing and you will be able to learn. And they do this art without a scale or a ruler to
Yeah.
measure.
I was about to
Only
say.
the thread they take.
Wow.
That details.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Wow.
So I think we
Very
can learn
inspiring.
to
Amazing.
start
Yeah.
go to the online, take one picture, small one. You can start off with doing, like I told you, what are all the symbols, 2 lines, then that Neeli Kochu, Basinga, start learning. There are all the symbols. There are 30 designs of that. So once you are very familiar with that, then you can start making small Chittara art forms. It is easy to learn. Once
Yes,
you
ma'am.
get the hang of it, you don't need to go to any workshop or anything. But maybe that will give you, you feel better. Somebody, you taught it in the right
Yes,
way.
yes, yes,
Self-taught
yes,
also
yes.
is okay.
We're all,
I have uh,
yeah.
uh, I have sent an article for
Yes,
Ramya's.
for the IKA newsletter, ma'am has sent
Yeah,
an
Yeah,
so you
article.
can take some of
yeah,
the
yeah.
points to get
Thank
started.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much. As Ramya or Seema both said, now the way I'm going to look at it, it's going to be different. And also, I'm looking at your sari and it's so beautiful. And I'm thinking, is that Chitara again with that square and this one? And thank you for
Fortunately,
such a
this
lovely
happened handing
workshop
at the
and also reminding us.
end of this course talk.
Ma'am, Veena, I think you missed what Veena said.
Yes, please.
Veena, I think there was a small lag. I think we had lost ma'am for a bit. So just go ahead and repeat that, Veena.
I forgot
She's
what I said.
admiring
I
your
wanted to
sari.
know if
Ma'am,
your
I was,
sari also has Chittara designs.
No, it is
yeah.
not Chittara, it is only Rangoli.
Oh,
They
okay,
might
not bad.
slow.
Like, it's something close to that. That's what, as
Yes.
Seema said, now the way I mean, looking at it itself is we are catching the designs, that
Yes.
what is the geometrical designs.
Yes. And
And
even this Rangoli also is again precision without knowing maths.
True.
They know how many chukke to put, in
Yeah.
what proportion, how the design comes. So
True.
hats off to the
Yeah.
ingenuity of our women. rural women, folk. They
True.
are far, far better any day compared to the
Absolutely.
urban,
Absolutely.
the
Very
so-called.
inspiring. Very inspiring
Yes,
for
very
us also.
inspiring. And I think all our talents are hidden and we don't know how to measure that. So that is the thing. But yes, thank you so much for this and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you,
Right.
Veena, for the feedback. Feels good if the message has been conveyed and if it has touched at least one or two people in this audience, then
Definitely. Now this
Certainly.
will go live
Certainly.
and it will reach a lot of people and I'm sure everyone will be as excited as we are here. So thank you so much for coming to IKA, accepting our invitation and giving us this really detailed in whatever little time that you had. Thank you so much. Before we wind up, just a quick reminder, tomorrow IK is having a special session at Cubbon Park, Bal Bhavan, the children's wing of Cubbon Park, where at Bala Vedike there's a special stage, and there 6 of our storytellers will be performing a program called Kamishibai Katha, where we will integrate Indian stories shared in Kamishibai style. So we are very excited. It's a free session. People are welcome to join. It will happen between 3 to 5. You can walk in, spread the word, and hope to see you all tomorrow. Thank you.
Maybe next year Sima will be inspired to have a Chittara art there. You
Yes.
have inspired us, ma'am. Thank you so
yeah,
much.
excellent conducting of your Katha series. I'm very impressed, Ramya and Seema, at the way you are propagating storytelling in a different way. So when it becomes not only just audio, but when it is visually also accompanied, I think the message goes much faster for the youngsters.
True.
Thank you, ma'am.
All the
Thank
best, youngsters, for your good work that you're doing. And anything to do with folk, I'm always there to give any suggestions,
Definitely. We'll keep reaching back to
especially
you.
pertaining to Karnataka.
Yes.
Thank you so much and
Thank you.
Shubharatri.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Good night. Bye bye.